Hello and welcome to another episode of The Average EV. Today I'm taking a road trip to Columbus, Ohio to check out a couple charging sites like the new Ayana site in Reynoldsburg, Ohio. Let's get into it. All right, everybody, so like I said, I'm heading up to Columbus, Ohio, gonna go to the new Rechargery in Reynoldsburg, and then I'm also gonna check out a BP POS site up there that opened up that no one's really been talking about in London, Ohio. And then I might try and go to the other one, but probably not. And then I'm gonna hit maybe a few Pilot Flying J sites as well. So gonna be a fun little trip. So I still don't have Super Cruise or navigation. That is actually, at the time of this video, going to be fixed next week. So I will put an update about that so you all can see how long it took and everything like that. But anyways, because of that, I'm going to be using a better route planner to plan my trip. And like I always have done when I use a better route planner, I put the route in for a better route planner, but then I actually use Waze or Google Maps or something like that to navigate, just because I think they do a little bit better job navigating and obviously have other features that are beneficial. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put everything, get it all set up, and then get on the way. We're at 76% state of charge. I'll reset the trip, and then when I had checked earlier, it had me going up through Gettysburg, so hopefully we'll do that. We'll charge there for a bit, and then we'll pop over and make our way to Ohio. So I will catch up with you all probably as we are on the road to Ohio. All right, everybody, this is the first chance I've had to kind of catch up with you all. So we had a really big rainstorm, thunderstorm, so I had to navigate that, pay attention to. I've been on 70 for quite some time here. I am coming up on my first charge stop, which is going to be a little bit early, and I'm following a better route planner. I was thinking we might be able to push it maybe and go to the next stop, but I'll just follow a better route planner. We only need to stay here for a little bit, so I'll just pop in, use the restroom, and then head to the next charging site, which is fine, no big deal. But yeah, things have been going well. I definitely miss Super Cruise. It would be nice, but it's all right. I'm living without it. We've gone 111 miles at this point in time, 2.9 mile per kilowatt hour efficiency, and we've been driving for about 2 hours and 8 minutes. So pretty close to like 55 mile per hour average, so not too bad. So anyways, I'm gonna get back on the road here. Pay attention, and then we will catch up in Cumberland. Actually, I didn't tell you all we were going to Cumberland, and I wanted to say this too. I'd forgotten that I kind of wanted to avoid the Cumberland and make the next stop. The reason I wanted to go to the next stop was because Cumberland only has 4 supercharging stalls, so we're gonna see how it goes. Worst comes to worst, there is some slower charging available in Cumberland we could go to, and we don't need that much extra charge, and maybe I could grab dinner if that's the case. But we'll get there, we'll see what's going on, and make a decision when we get there. Here are the stats, everybody. I got out of the car to park the car, and I'll show you what happened there. But anyways, this is what we got: 116.4 mile, 3 mile per kilowatt hour. We're gonna charge up here. I'm plugged in. I'm gonna activate the charge. All right, we're plugged in, we're ramping up. It probably will go up to 150 and then walk back down to 138. Let's see if we get that. 146. Yeah, I might stay here for a little bit and then go back down. I'm gonna run inside, use the restroom. Here we are. It says 25 minutes to 80%, but we're not staying that long, so no big deal. But we'll stay as long as I need, because I need to use the bathroom and maybe grab a snack. All right, everybody, we finished charging up. We're going to 56%. We're gonna keep with the plan to go to Morgantown, because I know I'm gonna be hungry in an hour, so I'd rather stop there and get food, and then I'll charge up as much as I need. I didn't take video outside because there's a bunch of people around, and I don't know, I always feel awkward. Maybe I shouldn't, but whatever. Anyways, I had to pull up very close to the curb, so much that I did actually scratch my bumper a little bit, so that is a downside to the Tesla Supercharger network. It's why I wanted to avoid this site, because it's kind of weird because it's kind of like terraced, and there's only 4, and I pulled as far forward. Maybe I should have angled more, but whatever. This would have been a great situation for the A to Z extension cable, but it doesn't, it's not out yet. And yeah, so hopefully that'll come out soon, but better than it could have been. It's just a little scuff. I can live with that personally. I don't really care. But definitely why I like to avoid this Cumberland location. So I'm gonna get on the road, get to Morgantown, and then get some grub. I made it here. Here are our numbers. Let me get to the right page. Trip. There we go. 70.8 miles, 2.4 mile per kilowatt hour efficiency. In an hour of driving, I'm gonna plug in and go find something to eat around here. All right, everybody, here's the situation. I would have preferred to park where this truck is, but he parked there, so whatever. So anyways, I had to park here, so I am blocking one, but there's plenty of available stalls, and there's actually a new Model Y looking good, white, black interior. Really do like the front of that. But anyways, here I'm plugged in using the General Motors provided Tesla adapter there, charging up. Let's go inside, see what speeds we're getting. 522, so definitely getting 148-ish there. Make sure sound's off. Okay. Emergency call. Yeah, that's because I don't have Super Cruise right now. But anyways, there we go. 148, 25%. Let's go find some food. All right, everybody, we are all charged up to 75%, which is more than we need. It wants me to go to a Pilot Flying J, but it's 52 cents a kilowatt hour, or I can go to Tesla and pay 35 cents a kilowatt hour. So I'm gonna do that. But let's get on the way here. It's earlier than I need to stop, but it's all gonna be all right. All right, everybody, so I wanna talk a little bit about that charging stop. I was trying to eat and stuff, so I wasn't able to update too much, but basically plugged in at 22% and then charged up. Things were going great, and as I would expect, I eventually saw the GM dip, went down to about, I believe, 58 kilowatts is what I saw when I was in Sheetz waiting for my food order. And yeah, so it's still happening. I did get that update that was supposed to improve charging. I am still holding out on putting out a video about that update until after my module gets replaced and I have my car completely updated. Once I do that, I'll do another charging test just to confirm that there's been no improvement. But at this time, and this video might actually come out well after that video, but at this point in time, which is May 16th, I believe, yeah, the update did not actually fix anything or improve anything. But we will see, and maybe you'll already have seen that, or maybe not. So that's that. Anyways, so I charged up more than I needed to get to the Triadelphia spot, but then because of that, it wanted me to go to the EV Go, which is much more expensive. Technically not EV Go, it's a Pilot Flying J. So I'm opting to go to where it wanted me to go initially, and then I'll continue my trip that way. So it is what it is. You know, we'll probably get there with too much battery, but then we'll have to we'll have to charge less, which is fine, and we'll just get to the next reasonably priced charging site. Here are the stats for this last trip we did: 76.1 mile, 2.7 mile per kilowatt hour, hour and 13 minutes of driving. Arrive here with 43% state of charge. We probably don't need more than 20 or so percent to get to the Reynoldsburg Ayana station, and I'd like to get there pretty low state of charge, so maybe I can do a 10 to 80% charge recording, or at least just collect some more data, because that's what I like to do. So let's go ahead, plug in, and then get on our way. All right, we're all plugged in using the A to Z adapter. I switched between the A to Z and the Tesla one just because it gives them time to cool down. I don't know if it actually matters, but it makes me feel good. We're charging here. I don't know if you can see that. It's blink, well, it's covered by my little mat, but it's blinking green. This is kicking up, so I'm gonna charge up a little bit here, use the restroom, and then get on the way. We're at 64% state of charge. Charging at 91 kilowatts right now. Let me flip the camera around and tell you the plan. All right, so the plan is to charge up here until 80%, then head to the Reynoldsburg, Ohio Ayana site. A couple cool things I want to do there. First off, it is one of their rechargeries, and I want to check out the station. So it's one of the 24-hour secure stations with a lounge. Doesn't have the store, but I think it'll still be nice, and I really want to check it out. And since it has such a good location on 70, I think it'll be a good site for people traveling across the country using 70. Additionally, GM just got access to plug and charge with Ayana, so I am going to do that. I'm going to plug and charge with the Ayana, test it out, and I'll make a video about that. I'll put it up for y'all to see, and that'll be a good one too. I haven't seen anyone do a GM vehicle on Ayana, and I figured, well, might as well be me. So gonna do that, and then as always, I'll do my EV charging site review for this station, which this one should score high again. The Ayana site in Garner, North Carolina scored a 94, which is the highest score, and likely the highest score for there to be for a very long time. And this I haven't looked at everything or surrounding it, but it should be either 94 or just below. So it's going to be another really great site, and Ayana is just killing it right now with their site. So, well, I'm going to let this charge finish up, and then we'll get back on the road, everybody. All right, we've made it to the Ayana site here in Reynoldsburg, Ohio. Here is our trip: 125.5 mile, 2.7 mile per kilowatt hour efficiency, hour and 48 minutes of driving. We arrived here with 17% more than a better route planner told me, so yeah, it's not great as far as accuracy for a better route planner. So definitely missing the Google navigation. Can't wait to have my telematics module replaced. I'm gonna go outside. I'll show you all around real quick, and then I'm gonna record a little bit of video and then go to the hotel and go to sleep. And I'll probably come back here tomorrow to shoot more video. All right, everybody, I made it here to Ayana. Pretty well lit, you all can see that. Really, really nice. Let me flip the camera around and show you all what's going on here. All right, here it is, everybody, the Ayana site. 6 chargers, all under a canopy, really nice, lots of room. Really looks great. We got cameras everywhere. You can see they've got a router out here. Really nice. They've got the handicap accessible parking spot here for the CCS. It's definitely interesting because it's more of like a gas station concept where, you know, you can pull here or you can pull in front of that car, and then you can leave and then pull in, kind of like a parallel park kind of situation. So very interesting. You know, like all their other sites has trash can, squeegee. Really, really nice site here. And then here is the actual Rechargery with bathroom, some snacks in there, lounge area, really a lot of space. I feel like they can put some more stuff in there in the future, so super cool. I'll sign off here. I will do a video of this site if you want to check it out later, and an EV charging site review, and check those out. But I'm gonna sign off and shoot a little B-roll for all my different videos I'm doing here. All right, everybody, I'm charging up here. I'm just gonna charge up to 80% and then go to the hotel. Unfortunately, I was not able to go inside of the Rechargery because the doors are not openable right now, which is unfortunate because I actually did need to go to the restroom. So yeah, that's unfortunate. There's a Sheetz across the street, so I might make the venture over there. I might reach out to Ayana tonight and see if they might be able to help me get in tomorrow, because I'm going to come back tomorrow. A lot of the shots I take for EV charging site reviews, like the you know, the different stores and restaurants that are around, it just looked really bad. So you see, this is the nice thing about canopies, because that is rain, and this is the dry charging site under the canopy. So working nice. Wrapping up our charge session here, 79%. We hit a huge dip, went down to 38 or so, maybe 37. So I had my OBD dongle plugged in so I could see, you know, the temperature. It was up to 49 degrees, which is pretty high. I've never really seen it that high. But the first thing that I've never seen kick on was the chiller. The chiller was actually, well, at least it was showing power going to the chiller. The chiller always could have been getting power. So I don't know if it was an app update or if, I don't know. I don't know why it would start showing a value there all of a sudden, but I have so many recordings where that value is always 0, but it was showing 4.98 kilowatts. I took a screenshot of it to show everybody, so I thought that was interesting. Charging complete, ready to go. Yeah, definitely over, I don't know. Anyways, I am going to go ahead and unplug. Great experience. $21 here. Let me take you all out and show you the fee. Yep, here we go. So 80%, 51.21 kilowatt hours, average of 99.62 kilowatts. 30 minutes to go from 27 to 80. And $21, not too bad. Charging detail, this is always fun. There we go, and there's that dip, and then it built back up. Just to show everybody I'm not completely losing my mind, but yeah, so exit, let's go ahead, unplug, and if you want to get a receipt, I guess, I don't know how that works. Oh, it's really raining now. So I click receipt, because I didn't use a card. Huh. Yeah, not sure how that works. But anyways, let me unplug. I guess, you know what? It doesn't matter because my GM account gets billed, so I think that's what it is there. It says instructions for auto charge. For receipt, follow instructions from your vehicle. Yeah, so it'll probably end up showing up on my GM account. So cool. I'll see if I can find that and show it to you all. But really, look at this rain. It's crazy. Crazy little storm going on here. Whoa. All right, well, I'm gonna go ahead, plug this back up, get to the hotel. I might edit that video and then go to sleep. So, and it's pretty late, so. Whew. I'll be back here tomorrow. Hopefully it won't be raining, and hopefully I can get inside the Rechargery. So let's go to the hotel. Before I head into the hotel, here's the full trip, $390 on the nose, 2.7 mile per kilowatt hour. And that's it. So I'm gonna go and get some sleep and then head over there tomorrow morning to see if I can get some more video, hopefully get in the building, and then check out a couple charging sites before heading back home. I am awake, everybody. Just drove over to Starbucks, very close to where the hotel was. And then I'm gonna pop back over to the Ayana site, see if I can get in, shoot some video in the daylight. It's sunny, beautiful outside, so try and do that. And then I'm gonna head west, and I'm gonna go to a BP Pulse site and an EV Go site, do some EV charging site recordings there. And then at that point in time, I'm just gonna gauge the time, and then I'll try and go, I might try and go over to the other Ayana site that's just west of London, Ohio, which is where the BP Pulse site is. So that's my current plans. I'm gonna hop inside, get my coffee, and then head over. All right, everybody, I got the goods, got my cold brew, got a sandwich. Let's head over to Ayana. All right, everybody, I grabbed a little video. I might come back later to see if I can actually get into the lobby. There's a little bit of a issue. It looked like some people went in that shouldn't have gone in. So I let Ayana know so they could deal with it and take appropriate measures. But anyways, I'm gonna head to the Travel Centers of America to check out the BP Pulse site, then go across the, well, not like literally across the street, but very nearby, like 1 minute away, to the Pilot Flying J, get those sites, and then, you know, call it a day. We have made it to the Travel Center of America with the BP Pulse stations. I'll pop out, show you all a little bit, and then do my EV charging site review. All right, everybody, here is the Travel Center of America in London, Ohio. It's actually really nice. The inside is really updated, and even the Popeyes is nice. I'm not like a Popeyes fan, but it's all nice, which is awesome. Lots of seating, things to buy. And then here is the charging site, Alpitronic HYC 400s, and they have CCS and CCS, so 4 ports available, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 NACs. So 12 EVs can charge at the same time. I think it's interesting the ratio they have, since CCS cars are more underserved than Tesla cars or NACS cars, because you know Hyundai has NACS native now, and so does Lucid. But anyways, it might be worth your time in the future, maybe not now since this isn't being utilized probably as much as they would like, but to get an adapter. So one day if you roll up and the CCS is being used, you can use your adapter on this, plug in, and then you're good to go. I'm actually going to do a video on that later today, because I think it's an important topic that people should consider when they're buying an EV, and if they're going to choose the road trip, so that they have as many options as possible. Done here now at the BP Pulse site. Now I'm gonna head over to the Pilot Flying J site that is just over there. Kind of a Burger King situation. Wherever there's a McDonald's, there's a Burger King. Wherever there's a BP Pulse, there's a Pilot Flying J, or vice versa, or whatever. Let's get on the way. All right, everyone, we're here at this Pilot Flying J site, and I spot with my little eye an issue. So this light's red. Tap to start. It says they're both available. So it says this is in use. Oh, because I want to authenticate. Yeah, so. All right. I guess, I don't know. I don't need to charge, so it is what it is. All right. Pricing. Let's see what pricing is. 58 cents per kilowatt hour. I'm going to check how much the BP Pulse, which is, where is it? It's right down that way, I believe, is. But I think it's less than 58 per kilowatt hour. And I don't know if that includes tax or not. It probably doesn't, so very interesting. I'm all done here at this Pilot Flying J site. Pretty nice, really nice. This is a Pilot, right? Really nice Pilot station in there, really clean, lots of good options. So that is nice. Like I said, that charger's not, it might not be working, or maybe just the red light's on. But anyways, I did check the pricing, and this is 58 cents. The BP Pulse is 48 cents a kilowatt hour. So 10-cent difference. I wonder, if it's intentional, I don't know, but I would probably go to the BP Pulse for the energy personally. And there's also Sheets over there, which is nice if you like the food at Sheets. So you could charge here, maybe go buy a drink from Pilot, so you're helping them out a little bit, but then go get some made-to-order food from Sheets. I don't know, it's up to you. Although they have Arby's here. I'm not like a big fast food guy, but Arby's is, here. And some people like the hot food that Pilot makes. Actually looks pretty good, so you could go for that too. All right, we're gonna head on the road. We're going to, I can't remember the name of the town, but I'll tell you, hopefully, when we get there, of the other IONNA site. But this is a Rechargery so it's located at a Sheets, which is always good. So let's get on the road. We have made it to the Springfield, that's what the town was, Springfield, Ohio, Ayana site. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dispensers, 2 handles each. So we got 10 total. 4 are NACS and 6 are CCS, which I think is probably the good ratio for right now, just to parallel to the BP Pulse, where it was kind of the opposite. It was, 4 to 8. So anyways, I'm gonna get out, do an EV charging site review here, and then I'm also gonna shoot a video about, should you consider getting an adapter for charging networks now that they're starting to put NACS in, or vice versa, if you already have a NACS car, to get one for CCS, so that, if you show up somewhere and your plug type is completely being used, but the other isn't, you could go use the other. Obviously, I do in a state, and it is true, it is always a better option to use a native port. It's a better experience. You don't have to put on the adapter, plug it in, stuff like that. But it's nice to have options, right? Isn't it? All right, so I'm gonna go ahead, get this done, and then we're gonna get on the road. And I actually might charge up here, if I'm being honest, because it will, I don't know if I'm gonna stop back at the other IONNA site. So, all right, let's go ahead and get on my way here at the Sheets. All right, everybody, I went ahead and plugged in here using the GM provided adapter, and I'm using the NACS handle. Obviously there's no one here, and normally I would just go use my native port, but this is for a video. And let's see what's going on here. So it plug and charge automatically, which is great. And then there is a countdown. I put out another video where I thought you had to, but you don't have to press that button. So that's good to know. Tested that out. And I didn't even see how much this cost. Oh look, coverage, so canopies are coming. No canopies right now, but for my EV charging site, I will count it just because they're coming. That is my protocol. There we go, firing up. I don't really care how much charge we get, but it's good to know plug and charge works. Even if you're using an adapter, charging detail, or it's good a cost. 36 cents, ooh, that's great. I'm definitely gonna charge up here. And that's great. And charging detail, there we are, 86, that's, you know, the battery is cold. You know, that's about what I would expect. So let's go ahead, I'm gonna pop in and shoot those videos, and then, yeah. All right, everybody, shot my videos at this site. It's a nice one. Can't wait for the canopy to be up. There's also a really nice accessible spot, but it's only NACS. So, Ayana, if you're watching, just, you know, think about people who need the access aisle and stuff like that, and maybe have that charger be both NACS and CCS. Just because you can cover all your bases. You know, you don't always know if someone's going to have an adapter or not, but you know, that's actually pretty, I've seen that pretty common, where it's one or the other. Actually, Mercedes had both, and they're accessible. They had CCS and NACS, so it's definitely possible, especially because they also use the Alpitronic. Anyways, now I'm gonna get on the road. Actually, I need to figure out where I'm going to go first, and then I'll get on the road. We're at 90% state of charge. Again, I was just charging until I left, so I have juice, and then hopefully don't have to stop as much on the way home. So I'll figure it out. Maybe I'll plan like a lunch stop, and that's kind of how I'll go about my life here today. It's 10:23, so somewhere maybe an hour or two away. Grab some lunch, and yeah, so I'll catch up with y'all once I have my plan. All right, everybody, I finished eating. The barbecue is really, really good. And then I headed over to a Starbucks, grabbed a little Starbucks, and now I'm driving 2 hours to Philadelphia, West Virginia, to the supercharger I charged at before, and then it has me going over to Breezewood, which I'm cool with. That's a nice little stop with another Starbucks, I'm pretty sure. So maybe I'll get some Starbucks there, and then I'm heading home. That's the plan. I ended up not going to the Ayana that hasn't been built yet, just to check it out. It's not worth it, it'll be all right. And then, I may or may not stop by the Pilot Flying J that's on the way, but I'm kind of in a I want to get home kind of mood right now. So I think that's probably what I'll end up doing, is just going straight home. So yeah. All right. Well, anyways, I'll catch up with y'all in a bit. Here we go. All right, everybody. So I forgot to get this before I turn the car off, unfortunately, but we're charging. It was around 30-ish%, maybe 27, 28. It went up to about 152 kilowatts. Now we're 50, it's walked down to 118. 176.8 miles is how far we drove from the IONNA charger. The name is escaping right now. But anyways, and we averaged 3.2 mile per kilowatt hour, which is actually really wonderful. And I think we have a major tailwind, so I think that was helping a lot. So we only need to charge up to 57%. I might go maybe 65, 67, and then we'll head out. I'm not gonna stay here for too long because we're only traveling about 120 miles down the road. So yeah, so go ahead, get done with that, and then I will let you know when we're done charging. All right, we plugged in, you know, like I said, around 30-ish%. We're at 70% now. I'm gonna let it go a little bit more because there's something I'm checking out on my OBD, but we're getting 95 kilowatts at 71, which is great. We're gonna ignore that. Usually we'd be in the dip right now and then slowly building back up and then end at 70, but we're at 94 kilowatts. So, and energy is cheaper here than at the next Tesla supercharger, so might as well just hang out here till it starts to dip, and then we'll dip. Okay, so I was just seeing if the chiller value would come on. It didn't, so we're at 79% now. I'm gonna unplug. We have way more than we needed, which is fine. I just wanted to test it out. Didn't pan out, so let me go unplug and we'll get on the road, and then I'll probably catch you all when we get to Breezewood, Pennsylvania. All right, everybody, we arrived here with 33% state of charge, and of course I got out of the car before I remembered to do this, so I'm sure you're used to it at this point in time. We went 149.8 miles, 3.6 mile per kilowatt hour, really awesome efficiency, lots of hills. I think we had tailwind, so this is our total trip on the way back, much better than on the way here. I'm gonna activate this charge and then go to use the restroom. Okay, so here's the plan. I'm just gonna charge up until I've found and eaten dinner. So I might end up at 100%, I might not. I'm hungry right now. There's not a lot of good options, so It'll probably be a quick dinner wherever I go. I'm just not sure where that's going to be quite yet. So I'll get back to you all on that. There is a Starbucks, which doesn't really have dinner. There's a Sheets, which unfortunately might be what's going to happen. There's a Salt and Kebab. Could try that. I'm not going to Bob Evans. So I'll find something here. I'll find something. All right, everybody, I'm done here. I'm about to unplug. There's a siren going off. Probably coming after me for this parking job. But anyways, yeah, because of how high this curb was, I had to park in at an angle instead of just pulling in that spot. But it doesn't matter. No one can park and use this spot anyway, so whatever. But yeah, this is where that A to Z extension cord would have been really helpful, but unfortunately, not an option. Maybe they'll send me one day and I can try it out or something like that, or I don't know. But whatever, I'm gonna go ahead, unplug and get on the way. Plenty of juice to get home. We're at 87% state of charge. Let's do it. All right, I made it back with 52% state of charge. Here are our numbers. That last trip from Breezewood, 107.2 mile, 3.4 mile per kilowatt hour efficiency, pretty good. Hour and 48 minutes of driving. And our trip totals on the way back, 433.9 miles, 3.4 mile per kilowatt hour. So really great trip on the way back, pretty efficient. Can't complain about that. Okay, so I hope you all enjoyed this video. Another great road trip in the Equinox EV with pretty much little problem. You know, I let it charge more than I needed to several times just because I had to go do things, and yeah, that's that. So if you have any questions, leave them down below. If you haven't already, please remember to give a like, a subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I will catch you all next time.